Hello, everybody!
Hello and welcome to our January 10th live stream.
Weekly adoption outreach live stream from your two favorite potential dads.
Yep.
I'm Tucker.
And I'm Timmy Basil.
I'm Basil, yes. And we're happy to be with you today. Happy Sunday, and we already said Happy New Year last week, but
We
Happy
did.
New Year, I guess.
Yep.
I was going to say that, but I didn't.
So, do you want to start with the big news related to adoption?
You can, because I think you think it's a bigger deal than I do.
I think it's a big deal, but we've moved up on the waiting list to get on into the profile book. We are now 14th on the waiting list. So, you know, it seems like every week or every other week we make a little progress. So
Timmy's going to make a trend line, so that way we can
model
our progress.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see, like, you know, what is the frequency that people are, you know, adopting through the agency. So I'm kind of curious.
Yes. Well, this week we don't really have any like big updates or.
Aside from
Robbie says we're one step closer, so I guess he's okay. We should be excited.
Yeah,
then.
one step closer.
But yeah, we really don't have any big updates other than that as far as like adoption stuff. We really didn't do a whole heck of a lot since last time we did one of these. So
yeah, I think the major thing that we did was we took down the Christmas decorations.
Oh, yes. You can see behind us, there's no longer a Christmas tree.
So it's always a time of the year that I'm happy but sad at the same time, because it's like, you know, you're putting away all the Christmas stuff, so you know that Christmas is a year away now.
Timmy really likes the holiday seasons.
Yeah,
so whenever it's time to put down the decorations, it's a little bit of a Christmas slump.
A little bit of a slump, yeah.
So we really, like I said, we really haven't done a ton of stuff other than the Christmas decorations.
No.
But on weeks like this where there aren't like a lot of like big updates or progress things to report, we like to just share about ourselves, to give a potential birth mother, you know, just a little bit more to know about us if she were to check us out. And then of course it's always the fun part of, you know, our support network, all the people out there that are helping us in our adoption journey. You can learn a little bit more about us too. So,
so
Amber says hi.
Oh, hello, Amber. Thank you for joining us. So I think we came up with about 2 topics to just talk about, just to sort of let people know a little bit more about ourselves that maybe we haven't announced officially online. So I think the first topic we decided to just share with everyone is, let's just talk about where we went to college. Because I think that's...
And then the other one, what's the other one that we want?
Well, the other one is, let's just talk a little bit about our jobs, what we do.
And so...
I'll let you start.
Oh, I'm going to start?
Well,
I was going to ask you where you went to school. So you have to ask me then, because you're interviewing me then.
So, Tucker, where did you go to school, and what did you go to school for?
Sure. So, when I went to college, I originally started out at a community college in my hometown, at Riverland Community College. I studied my generals there for a year. And then after a year, I transferred to Winona State, and I went there for 4 years. And there I studied physics and chemistry and education. So the official name of my degree is Physical Science Secondary Education. But basically it's physics, chemistry, and teaching. So, that's where I went to school, and in real nutshells. Or anything else you or the viewers want to know, Timmy?
Well, I don't know if there's anything that you could share that I don't already know, but no, thank you for sharing.
Yes, thank you for asking. Now I ask you, Timmy, where did you go to school?
Okay, so it seems like it was, I think, literally a decade ago at this point. But I got my bachelor's degree at Penn State in Pennsylvania, obviously. So that would have been in 2012. I graduated with a bachelor's in engineering science. It's an engineering degree that has a little bit of background in theory of engineering as well as actual engineering, if that makes sense. But I decided to continue my education at Penn State, and I did my graduate school at Penn State, and I graduated in 2013 with my master's degree in engineering mechanics. So that's a little bit about my background.
Sounds good. Obviously, there's
education-wise.
more to it for both of us.
There's a lot more, but we realized last week our video was 20 minutes long. So we're trying to like cover a lot of things, but also we don't want to draw it out too long.
Yeah, it's fine to draw things out, I think, every once in a while, but we found that in our home study for adoption, that like talking about these things literally took days.
Yeah.
We'd meet in like 2-hour chunks, but ended up taking a lot time to go through all the details.
It did. So that's a really condensed version of where we went to school.
And what we did there. So it's okay if I share about just my job, where I'm at right now?
Do you want to talk about just current employment?
Yeah, I won't go into the previous stuff. I mean, I will mention that I used to live and work in Worthington.
Sure.
But that's it. I already did it. I mentioned it. As I've mentioned in previous weeks, I'm a teacher, and I'm sporting my Chaska Hawks sweatshirt. I'm a Chaska Hawk. Though we live in Belle Plaine, my heart in teaching goes out to Chaska High School, and I'm a science teacher there. I've taught physics. This is my third year. Yeah, this is my third year at Chaska, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it's my third year. So I've taught physics there all 3 years that I've been there, and then this year I'm teaching chemistry and AP chemistry, and it's fun. I like it. It's really exciting, and this year's been odd, obviously, like having to do all of the teaching online because I've been teaching from home all year, even when we've been in hybrid and other models. Go Hawks! Yes! Thanks, Kenzie and Alex, it looks like. But yeah, anyway, so I've been teaching from home all year, even when kids were in the building.
Do you want to share a little bit about what you do outside of school too, like coaching-wise?
Yeah, so like, and still part of that, and I was going to mention that because it is part of this sweatshirt as well. I've coached. So in Worthington, when I was a science teacher there, I was a robotics coach. That was really fun. And then when I moved to Chaska, I wanted to do coaching, and I was really like, hey, I really want to do robotics again because that was really exciting. But then they already had people in the program, and there was a new opening in the academic teams, and I didn't really know much about them, but I just said, hey, I'll do it. And so I've coached Knowledge Bowl for 2 years, and Quiz Bowl for 3 years. And this year I took off from Knowledge Bowl and just focused on Quiz Bowl this year. But it's been kind of a fun thing to get involved with, where kids answer questions and talk to each other, and it's all academic topics like science and math and history, literature, and all those things. And I had no experience of that in high school or in anything else before, and so in taking over coaching, I learned a lot, and it's been really fun to get to know the kids outside of the classroom, and that's that. I think that's kind of, you know me, and any of you that know teachers know that we can just go on and on about teaching.
I'm trying.
That's good enough.
I don't want to interrupt you.
No,
but I have a feeling that you could talk about teaching all day.
I could.
And it's something that I've gotten used to, because I don't know if many people watching know this or not, but pretty much all of Tucker's family are educators. They're teachers. His sister's a teacher.
My mom and dad.
And brother-in-law, they're both teachers. So
out of the 6 of us,
when we get together for holidays, I'm the only one that's not an educator.
My mom says, "Hello, teacher talk."
Yep. So,
and we're kind of going tangential here, but in the extended Basil family, that's also pretty much true.
That is true.
There's a large amount of educators. Going back to my grandma Basil, she was a one-room school teacher, and then she had 4 kids, and all of them are married. And out of the 8 of those, Ken is the only one that doesn't have a background in education.
Yeah, so as you can imagine, I am used to a lot of teacher talk at family events, just all about teaching and students, and yep.
So I will pass the torch over to you, Timmy.
Okay.
It's now your time to shine.
Oh boy. So all right. Current job. So I'm a manufacturing engineer, and I work at a pharmaceutical company called Lifecore Biomedical. And I don't want to get too technical just because most people probably won't know what I'm talking about, but my day-to-day job is pretty much, at least recently with all the COVID stuff, doing a lot of reports, documentation, making sure that a lot of the regulatory documentation that we need for our products is up to date and, meeting all of the current standards. So I spend a lot of my time doing just computer work, if that makes sense. A lot of people tend to think of an engineer as someone that's like, cranking a wrench, but it's actually, I would say probably maybe once or twice a month that I actually go into the lab and make measurements or run a test or do something.
For you.
For me. Yeah. And any other time it's like I'll write a protocol for someone else to run the test, and then when they get the results, I just write the report.
Yeah, you do a lot of like documentation right now.
Yep.
Which is good because you can do that remotely.
That is really nice. So,
but you do have experience in like cranking wrenches. And
I
stuff
do have
too.
a lot of cranking wrench experience because my last job I was a research and development engineer, and if anyone knows anything about R&D, that's a lot of
wrench cranking.
Wrench cranking. But yeah, so my current position as a manufacturing engineer is a bit more of an office job, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's really enjoyable. I'm learning a lot, and it's pretty challenging. Who knew that there would be so many regulations
in the health field?
In the pharmaceutical field. So that's a little bit about my job.
Cool.
I don't want to...
It can get really technical really quickly.
And sometimes when I'm done with work, I like to share, how my day went with Tucker, and he'll just nod.
But I think but I think we both do that. And I think all married couples basically do that too. But yeah. I think the thing that's kind of fun about our relationship is that we can share about stuff and the other person can academically understand it.
That's true. And it's actually one of my favorite things about you is I can talk really nerdy engineering topics with him and he understands.
And in the same way I can talk about like, oh, we did this thing in AP chemistry, or like I'm having a hard time thinking about how to teach about redox reactions because that's what I'm going to be teaching tomorrow. And you understand, and we can talk about it, and it's kind of fun. On that note, as we get close to wrapping this one up...
okay, I don't know what's next.
Oh, surprise. We're currently working on a project that's related to physics. Kind of for fun, because I have a... So, you know where I'm going with this. We're going to talk about the cloud chamber. So I'm part of a network of teachers. It's called QuarkNet, and basically we're into particle physics and stuff like that. And so what Timmy and I are working on is something that I found on CERN's website, the Large Hadron Collider, and you can basically make a cosmic ray detector to detect high energy particles that come from outer space and cascade down on all of us right now, and we never can tell.
It sounds a little bit weird, but we're
like
actually
science fiction,
we're in the middle of building a little cloud chamber in our kitchen right now.
Mm-hmm. It's not done yet, so we can't show anything off yet. I went out and bought some dry ice earlier because that's part of the process, and it's really cool. And I've seen them before, but I've never made one. And so with my physics background, with particle physics, and with Timmy's engineering, it's going to be fun.
I think we'll have to share some pictures. Yeah. Since we're talking about it.
Or we could update next week, or we'll share somehow. But that's kind of the fun thing that we're working on today. And we'll update on how that project's going.
It'll be a success.
Absolute, unrefuted success. No, that's science, though. I'm sure the first iteration will have some issues, and we'll refine it, and it'll get better. But I'm excited for that, and that's what we're going to go work on now. So.
All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about today?
No, I think that was it.
Are there any other updates for our tons and tons of fans that you
millions of fans?
Millions of fans.
Not really. Just, continue supporting us, continue sharing our posts and liking, commenting, and all that stuff. All that, like I said last week, it sounds corny, but our main purpose in this is to try to connect with as many people as possible, because the best way that we can get matched with a birth mother and make an adoption plan with them is through this, and through just us, sharing with people and you sharing with people and talking about us and sharing our story. And eventually we're hoping that somebody likes us enough that
They'll
that
reach
is,
out to us.
that is going through a situation where we're trying to do an adoption plan, that can meet with us and we can become dads.
All right, if there's nothing else.
No? So...
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Yep. Have a good week, everybody. Bye.